Hello everyone. Welcome to my heart health series. In these videos, I'm going to make some videos about heart health. So as you know, heart disease is the most devastating disease going on in the entire world. Around 20% of people die because of heart disease directly or indirectly. For example, people die because of heart attacks, diabetes, high blood pressure, and then all the things that come because of those kidney failure, a lot of things, they die because of heart disease. So, in this video series, my goal is to provide you some information on heart health, and then you can take your own decisions about your health. So let's dive deep into heart health. But before this, if you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe the channel, and then share this with your friends and family. I also like to tell you that this is my personal research and this is not a medical advice. So if you want to make any changes in your regular health, please go to your doctor and go to your trainer and then do the changes. This is just for information purpose only. However, all my videos are based on research and my own research, and I'm going to post all the links with you in the description, so please look at them. So in the first video, I have been reading a lot on social media about the triglycerides, and I want to make a detailed video on what triglycerides are. So let's dive deep into what triglycerides are. So, as you know, our body consider this as an engine, right? So, the body is an engine, and an engine needs fuel to keep running. For our body, the fuel is the food that we eat. So, we are an engine, and then we are eating food to keep the engine running for 80, 90 years. So, food can come in three or four different forms. One is carbohydrates, the another one is protein, and the third is fat. So, when we eat the food, body basically converts the food into energy and then provides that to all the cells in the body. That way we can all the cells are alive and keep running. So basically that's the purpose of food. So what happens is when we eat the food, body basically converts them to glucose and then fructose, and then the glucose is then converted and given to the cells. So what happens with glucose is that body or cells cannot directly absorb the glucose as is. So when the food is converted into glucose, that energy needs to go to cells in certain form, and that form is basically called triglycerides. So triglycerides are basically fatty cells, the, or the fatty kind of boxes that our body creates to transport energy from the food source to the destination, which are the cells. So when people say that, hey, triglycerides are bad, no, they are not bad. You want them because they are essential part of our energy system, but you want them in certain range to be healthy. And when I say healthy, if you have too much of those packets, those energy packets, and if our cells don't consume those packets, guess what's going to happen? Body is going to store them. Body has to store them into certain fats. So imagine that, let's say you put in 2 liter of fuel, but your vehicle can consume only 1 liter of fuel. Guess what's going to happen with 1 liter, right? So body has to take care of that 1 liter because it cannot just throw out that outside through urine. So body stores them into fatty cells. So if your input, which is your food that you are taking, is actually higher than your output, that is your daily workout. If you're not working out, or if you're not working enough, then your body is going to convert that triglycerides into unnecessary fats, and it's going to put fat into different places in your body, such as hips, all over the body. It's going to first put that onto liver, and then when the liver is fatty enough, you're going to start putting those into different parts of the body, including your belly. So most likely the people with big belly, they have high triglycerides. So how do I know that I have high triglycerides versus I have healthy triglycerides? Can I just tell, looking at a person, if person has high triglycerides? And the answer is no. You cannot tell that. You have, because every body is different, every body's metabolism of converting the energy is different. So what you have to do, first thing and most important thing, is take a blood test. There is a blood test called lipid panel. Lipid means fat, and panel is basically all different types of fats. So basically, when you order the lipid panel blood test, you can actually measure cholesterol, triglycerides, and other fats in your body and see if they are in the healthy range. And the range actually varies from person to person, that is female to male. Then it is based on the age. But in the healthy body, triglycerides are actually less than 150 milligram per deciliter. So, first of all, before doing anything, before taking any medication, before start eating something different, first of all, first thing to do is take test, get to know what are your lipid profile. Now, once you know what is your lipid profile, show this to doctor and say, hey, do I have triglycerides? People who are obese or people who are not moving enough, it is likely that they have higher level of triglycerides. Now, before I go into how to reduce triglycerides, I want to know what happens if triglycerides are higher. So, triglycerides are basically the form of energy packets that are going from your source to your destination, which are cells. Now, if you have too many triglycerides, body actually converts them into fat cells and then basically starts storing them in your body for future use. And as I said, body stores them into different places, and one of the places is your arteries. So when body basically have too much triglycerides, triglycerides serve as a building block for cholesterol, which is again a fat that basically goes through your blood, and then that fats starts getting deposited into your arteries, in your heart, and then you can you can go into heart attack because of the blockage of artery, because then your arteries get narrower as the fat starts depositing on their borders. So it's very dangerous. Having high triglycerides for longer period of time is very dangerous, but it is also very easy to reduce your triglycerides. So in next part of the video, I am going to talk about how to reduce triglycerides. So first of all, I told you that triglycerides are essential. They get formed when we eat, and then they get converted into energy, and then they go to the cells. Now, in order to reduce triglycerides, and I want you to listen to me carefully, in order to reduce to triglycerides, you have to understand your body's metabolism. That is how much you are eating versus how much you are spending, that is how much you are exercising within the day, and how much calories you are spending. So if you're not doing that, then you are not going to reduce your triglycerides. So I want you to listen to this. Start measuring what you are eating for 2, 3, 4 days in calories, and then start buy a smartwatch and start counting how much calories you are spending within the day. The triglycerides can only be reduced if your output is actually more than your input. So either you have to work hard, that is, exercise more than what you eat, or you have to start eating less and you have to start eating correct things. So, basic principle, if your output is more than your input, then your triglycerides are going to start going down, because if you if your output is more than your input, that means your body is actually has no extra energy to store anywhere. So it's very important to know this logic. Now, based on this logic, I'm going to I'm going to suggest like some quick steps to reduce triglycerides. And so let me deep dive into that. And again, this is based on my own personal research. This is something that has worked for me. And so please, please, if you are changing in your diet, talk to your doctor, talk to your nutritionist before doing anything. However, so I said that you have to reduce the intake of energy. So it, at the start of the video, I said body actually intakes the food in three different sources: carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Now, most of the people in the world nowadays, they eat crazy amount of carbohydrates, and carbohydrate means instant energy. So you eat it, your body instantly gives you energy, and then you have to use that energy, right? Otherwise it's going to get triglycerides. So I would like to take the focus on the carbohydrates eating. So the things that we eat in carbohydrates, and in the carbohydrates, there can be good carbohydrates and there can be bad carbohydrates, or there are like worse carbohydrates, and we eat that on daily basis. So first and most important, sugar. I mean, I'll be very honest. We are living in a sugar pandemic. So I know we don't like the word pandemic, but believe me, humanity is living in sugar pandemic. When I say sugar pandemic, we are eating too much sugar. We are eating too many forms of sugar every day that our body cannot actually consume, and then it has no other way but to store into fat or triglycerides and cholesterol. So first way to reduce the carbohydrate intake is stop eating sugar. And when I say stop, do not eat a lot of sugar. Now, there are different types of sugar, which is glucose and fructose and sucrose and lactose. There are different kind of sugar. But here, my advice is do not eat refined sugar or any forms of refined sugar. So reduce intake of sweets, you know where you put artificial sugar. Reduce intakes of refined forms of what do you call breads. It's like breads use the refined forms of sugar and refined forms of wheat or rice. So stop eating bread, pasta, sugars. You can say stop eating donuts. All these are the worst sugars that our body can take in, and then it has no way to burn those quickly enough. So my advice, and that will work most for you, is that if you actually stop eating refined sugars for, let's say, 1 month, mark my word, your triglycerides will get reduced by at least 10%, and without doing exercising, without doing anything. So mark this: do not eat refined sugars, do not eat flours that are refined, like wheat flour, rice flour, or corn flour. Do not eat any types of flour. They are bad. They are so refined that body has to do nothing to create energy. They go into your body and give our body instant energy. Body doesn't have to decompose them into energy. So they are quick sources of energy. Do not have those. Do not drink fruit juices. You can eat fruits, but do not drink the fruit juice, because fruit juice is too concentrated. You squeeze 4 or 5 apples or 4 or 5 lemons or oranges to make 1 glass of that orange juice. So there's plenty of sugar in it. Start eating in solid form, not in the liquid form. So that's my first advice. The second advice, and that is also very important: exercise. As I said, input and output. Input is your food, output is what you burn. You can reduce input by eating less sugars, but you can also increase your output by exercising more. So if you're exercising 30 minutes a day, start doing it 45 minutes a day. If you're doing 45 minutes a day, start doing 1 hour. You have to burn more calories than you eat. And for that, I would say, if you don't have gym equipment or anything, that's completely fine. Even 1 hour walk every day is completely fine. What worked for most people is start doing 10,000 steps a day, and that is actually really good for your health and your body. So I talked about two things: eating less sugars and then exercising more. So those are two things that is going to help you with triglycerides. The third thing, and that is also very important: start eating foods with omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids is essential source that our body needs for metabolism and our heart health. Omega fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids have been known to reduce triglycerides. So there are different ways you can take omega-3 fatty acids. The best way to take omega-3 fatty acid is eating fatty fish. Fatty fish, that is salmon. In India, you can get tuna, salmon, tuna, mackerel. In India, we call it bangda. So you can eat a lot of fatty fish as a part of your diet 1 or 2 times a week, and that will give you enough omega-3 fatty acids. Research recommends that an adult should eat at least 1 gram, that is 1000 milligram of fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. So those three are super important, and is going to help you. Fourth thing is eat more fibrous food. That is, start eating vegetables. Start eating vegetables with more fiber. That is, all the green leafy vegetables, include that in your diet. Ideally, the research recommends that your diet should have 1/3 of the green leafy vegetables every day. So these four things is super important to reduce triglycerides. And believe me, when you start reducing triglycerides, all other factors such as cholesterol and then sugar, blood sugar, they'll all start going down. But we'll make a separate video on that. So a lot of people ask me then, hey, what should I eat? Because if I can't eat sugar, then what should I eat? There's a lot of things to eat in the world. For example, eat healthy fats. That is, nuts are healthy fats. Pistachios, almonds, cashews. All these are good nuts, good energy form that you can eat instead of these bad boys like Coke and Pepsi and whatnot. So yeah, you can do that. The another thing that you can do, like can eat, is start eating more vegetables in your diet, because as I said, the solid food is hard for body to break down and then consume into fat. So body needs to work hard. So it's very important for body to work hard to create the energy, because if you give body instant energy, it is going to be wasted. The third thing is intake your protein. So your protein intake needs to be higher, which means that you have to eat at least, for 1 kilogram of your body weight, you have to eat 1 to 1.5 grams of protein. So if you weigh 80 kilograms, you should at least eat 110 to 120 milligram of protein, 120 gram of protein. There are various protein sources that you can eat from. That is lean meat like chicken, turkey, fish. If you are a vegetarian, then you can eat tofu, you can eat soya chunks, you can eat paneer, you can eat a lot of things. So based on your liking and based on your diet, try to eat at least 1 to 1.5 gram into times your kilogram weight. So yeah, those 4 or 5 things is going to drastically reduce your triglycerides in your body, and you're gonna feel well. You're gonna feel good, because a lot of people with triglycerides have symptoms such as when they start walking, they can feel breathlessness, or they get tired very easily, or they can't sleep well, or they cannot concentrate on the things. That's because they have too much energy and body is trying to convert those into fats, and it's not healthy at all. So I hope you like my videos. I have done some research. I have put some links into the description in the research in the description box. So do take a look at it, and I hope you liked it. Again, if you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and families. I hope this video helps. Even if this video helps one person get fitter in their life, I'm happy. So thank you very much for listening to the video. I will come with my next video series in some days on heart health. So stay tuned. Thank you.